everyone, and welcome to issue number 32 of the monthly dive into the long box here. It is Jocelyn, joined by Gabe, as usual. And it is spooky month. Woo! So, we are not talking about anything spooky, unfortunately. Our comic we're reviewing this month for our one-shot later on, that's a spooky book. We're going to be looking at The Darkness #1 in our one-shot that you could listen to. But on this episode, we're going to be looking at comic hidden gems a little later on. But before we get into that, real quick, it's been an interesting month. I picked up a lot of things here. I've been doing some reading, but like I told you before recording, it's been a lot more picking up of things. But something I did read recently was something that you can actually go see my thoughts on. And it is my review on Comic Book Click of Tomb Raider #1. Which is another big Top Cow book that sold a lot of fucking books. And we talked about it on the show, how this was like a #1 selling book. And we finally dived into it, and I talked about the entire thing. So go check that out on Comic Book Click if you have not already. Definitely go check that out. That'll be linked in the description. Just thought I might as well do a little bit of cross-promotion, right?
And that was written by the great Dan Jurgens, I believe, right?
Yes, it was. This is, Dan Jurgens doing the art and then, the writing, and, oh, God, who
J.D. Smith? J.D. Smith doing the art?
No,
no, he was doing the covers.
Yes, he was. Yeah, this cover specifically, though, is a Michael Turner cover.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the artist. I had it noted in the review. Andy Park. Andy Park was doing the art on the inside. The interior art by Andy Park, it looks similar to what you get from Michael Turner. It's very Michael Turner coded, which I like. It's that Top Cow art, you know?
I was going to say Top Cow had a house style, for a while, and I like their house style quite a bit.
Yep. And listen, it's written phenomenally. It's a great issue #1. I have the following issues that I'm going to read on my own, but yeah, it's definitely a book to check out for sure. If you haven't, you can read all about it in my little quirky comments about it. Another thing I picked up at the shop, I stumbled across these. So I don't know if you remember, like a year ago, I talked about it here on the show, how for some reason I really wanted Mike Mignola X-Men covers. He did a lot of covers for X-Men Classic back in the 90s. Back in 1990. And then I stopped buying them because I couldn't find any more. So I stumbled across another one, and I scooped it up here. This is X-Men Classic number 60. Associating Mike Mignola with like the X-Men is so weird to me. You know what I mean? And it's in that trademark Mignola style that you get from like Hellboy, which I fucking love. It's such a weird combination.
Could you imagine Mignola writing and drawing an X-Men run?
Dude, that would be nuts. I would love to see him work on like the Hulk run. Like, give him, like, a beast monster to do. How cool would that be? Something really unique.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just want to see him draw some cool shit, you know? And the next one here, I had on my, like, to-find list if I'm ever out at the store. And you're going to see it and be like, why? And then when you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I need to buy that book immediately. And it is X-Force Annual #2. All right? This is one of the most important books in comic book history. You want to know why? And after I say this, you're going to need to buy this. All right? This book was the first appearance of one of the most pivotal figures of 90s X-Men comics.
Adam X?
Adam fucking X. You are correct.
I pulled that out of my ass, too.
This is the first appearance of Adam X. I kid you not.
I saw him at the top right, and I was like, wait, is that his first appearance?
This is his first ever appearance, and I think just Adam X as a character himself is so funny to me, because it's so of the time. You know what I mean? Like, I love it.
Didn't he wear, like, a backwards baseball cap and had a skateboard?
There actually is an X-Force cover where he's the cover for it. That's not his first appearance, this one is, but he does have, like, a main cover appearance. I'm gonna pull it up here. I own that, too. I own that as well. That is X-Force number... Oh, maybe I don't own this. I thought I did own that one of Adam X. Do I not? Hold on. We're going to have to fix that problem. I can tell you that. I'm going to have to... But he does have a cover for one of the X books. I think it's X-Force. I could have sworn I owned that. I got to look through my box now to make sure I own it. But I know for a fact I should. If I don't, that'll be a disappointment for fellow Adam Xers, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know why I wanted it so bad, but I ended up buying it. I got it. It was $5, so I said why not? A fun little for fun first appearance. Oh, I do own it. Here we go. X-Force number 30. He was on the cover of X-Force number 30, and he looked very scary on the cover, over the life of or the body of Shatterstar with a sword covered in blood, with his little backwards hat.
So that's his first appearance.
No, the annual is.
No,
the annual is his first appearance.
The annual is okay.
The annual is his first appearance. This is his first I don't think
cover.
this is. Yeah, if even that.
Yeah.
I just think he's just on it. Because I don't think he's on any other covers. Yeah, he's for sure on number 30. I do own it. So, but yeah, his first one is the annual. So don't get it twisted. All right. If you want your Adam X first appearance, you get the right one.
Adam X, by the way, has not been seen since December 31st, 1999.
I believe this is also him on the cover. So I collect books from March. Oh no, this is Shatterstar on the cover. Confusingly. I think it is. So I collect books from March 1997, my birth month. So I thought this was Adam X looking at the cover with the swords, but then he has the Shatterstar eye, like the little star on the eye. So I thought this was also him, but I guess not. I always thought this was Adam X on the cover, but guess not. Guess not. It's confusing when you have two guys with long blonde hair with double swords on the same fucking team.
Yes.
Gets a little confusing. And it's because he doesn't have the baseball hat. So how am I supposed to know who that is? You gonna blame me for that? Come on now. Something I got, though, I was gifted some books this past month from a little person known as my brother Andrew. He was clearing out some space. And while clearing out some space, he found some Batman books, and some of them are very timely nowadays. He gave me the 4-issue run of Damian, son of Batman, which is the story that gave Damian that really cool fucking Batman costume with the collar. So he gave me the entire run, all 4 issues, which I was very shocked about, because this is his favorite Damian/Batman costume of all time. So I'm shocked he gave me this. I was very honored to get his favorite design in comic book form. And it's very timely because the creators of this actually said they are very open to doing a sequel about 2 weeks ago. So if they do make that, I can read through this one, because I can read through the 4 issues very easily now. So yeah, I got that from him. And then the big thing I got from him was a whole stack. He came in, he slammed this stack on the table, and he said, "Here, you can have these." And I was like, what is he giving me? And it is, oh boy. He gave me something you and I have talked about a couple times on this show that I don't own. And it is Dark Knight 3, The Master Race.
Oh.
He gave me all 12 issues of Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. And they're basically fucking mint and brand new that he's just had in his personal collection. They are so mint, though, that by some of these covers are beautiful, though, for this fucking series. But these are so mint, though, that each of these books have a mini comic on the inside done by Frank Miller. So if you open up this first one here, ooh, the sound of that opening sounds so nice. So nice. Has this little insert book with the shitty Superman, right? And it's a mini comic in the comic. But this one is illustrated and written by Frank fucking Miller. But what saves him in this is that it's inked by Klaus Janson. So Klaus Janson inking like 2010's Frank Miller, it saves a lot of his art from looking super ugly. He cleans up a lot of this Frank Miller stuff. You can still see the Frank Miller in it, but it doesn't look as shitty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's anatomically correct. The faces don't look as like wonky. He definitely tries to like keep the Frank aesthetic in the book, you know? But as you can see, like from like these action poses, Frank cannot do that. Look at these fucking dragons. They look insane. Like that's all Klaus. This is half done by Klaus Janson. You can tell. But yeah, he has all of the mini comic. Each one has its own mini comic about a different character in the universe. So there's one about Wonder Woman. This one's about Captain Atom. There's one about Green Lantern. And they're all done by different artists and writers for them. So yeah, Andrew took such good care of these. Each one of these books all still have the mini comics attached in the inside. So I just thought that was cool to have, like a complete Dark Knight Master Race. For honestly, these go pretty pricey now, shockingly, with all the inserts in it. So I'm glad to have them for absolutely free. So I'm just in a weird predicament now, though, where I have these books that aren't technically old, but they're also technically not new. So I don't know what box to put these in, you know? Because I'm a big organized guy. So I don't know if I put these with my new comics or my old ones. I feel like they don't fit in with the old ones because they're all 90s stuff, you know? I'm in a predicament. I need your input.
I like to categorize everything alphabetically.
Okay, like no matter what.
Yeah, I'm weird like that. Unless it's like a specific run.
Yeah. I think what I run into is that like I still actively get physical new books that I have to like slot away, and I like to keep those like separate with the new ones, you know, of like what I bought weekly goes in one box. So I don't know. This is a weird one. Also, it doesn't help that 4 issues into the run, they switched from this horrible DC logo I hated to this one, like 4 issues in, the one that was the one that we had until recently. So it's like, that is another reason why I'm like, all right, do I consider it new? Because it had the logo that's on my other DC books. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but
I think it's just my OCD.
You're looking way too much into it.
Yeah, I think it's my OCD.
I think you're looking too much into it at that point.
Yeah.
When you're comparing logos, like, all right, I know.
Well, because then I'm like, all right, I use League of Comic Geeks to keep track of my new books, and I use CLZ to keep track of the money and like prices of my old books. And since these are technically books that have some price tags on them, I'm like, all right, do I track them in this or in League of Comic Geeks since it's in my League of Comic Geeks box? I don't know. They've just been outside in a nothing box. They've been just sitting on top for the past month because I don't know what to fucking do with them. Because I overthink everything. But anything you've been reading recently?
Oh man, have I been ever?
What you been reading?
So I'm completely caught up. Keep in mind, I hadn't read any of Absolute Batman, and then our good friend John Escudero, he was like, "Man, just stop being a pussy and read it."
Read the book.
He's like, just pick an ongoing and like, you know, stop being behind, like catch up, bro.
Yeah,
like,
give it the times, old timer.
It's all right, fine, fuck, like. You know, usually I just wait for runs to be over, but I'm like, you know, the Absolute Universe is probably gonna go on for a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like the Ultimate Universe where it already has an end date.
So I was like, okay, I mean, let's start with Absolute Batman. And now I'm all caught up. I've read all... The only thing I haven't read is the annual that came out today.
Same here. Same here.
But besides that, I've read, to this date, all 13 issues.
And what do you think? Because I was singing the praises of this when it came out, so I'm interested in your opinion.
No, I would agree. I really like it. I really enjoy it. I like the idea that the usual suspect of like Batman villains are actually his friends in this universe.
I love that.
Him. I like the relationship, especially that he has with Croc, with Killer Croc. I like how Riddler kind of looks like fucking Woody Harrelson from like Natural Born Killers when he had hair. He's got like these really cool like sunglasses and like. I don't know. I kind of like this this cyberpunky like Riddler.
It's cool as hell. Yeah. I will tell you when they showed them as what they are now, I felt a little sad almost. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because I was like, damn, like I feel bad for him because I know that sucks to see your friends turn into what they are now, especially Two-Face with Harvey. Oh man.
Yeah, but on the bright side, at least, you know, Catwoman debuted in the last issue.
Yes, and he's smashing her.
Oh, he's smashing her. He's laying the pipe pretty damn good to Selena, let me tell you.
She's loving it.
I love Batman actually being raised by his mom.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense in this universe.
The concept of Batman raised by his mom and still being like a blue-collar, everyday working guy that like worked in construction, I think that's great. You know what I mean? Because he knows the people's struggles of the city. It's not just he sees it, he feels the struggles of the city.
Well, so literally, I mean, I don't remember if it's the first or the second issue, but he's like, I came out of college, and he's like, oh, by the way, I used to be a star running back, of
Mm-hmm.
course,
Yep.
and then I fucking left because I didn't want to play football.
Yep.
So, okay, motherfucker, like keep on bragging, I guess.
Humble brag.
He's like, he's like, well, I left college because I wanted to do this, and then once I learned this, I became like a maintenance worker, and once I became a maintenance worker. Batman wore like fucking 10 or 15 different hats in this universe just
Yeah.
to figure out like the bones and the structure of like how Gotham operates like as a city.
Yep.
And I was like, this is genius. Like this makes so much sense to me as to how Batman would like acquire his knowledge as to how like Gotham works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he would do every common man job. Of course,
yep.
it makes sense.
And what I love too is two things. One is like the emphasis on his bat aesthetic. Like there's that, I think it's the first or second issue where Alfred's watching him. I think he's going after the Black Mask guys, and he's hanging
Yes.
upside down like an actual bat with the hooks that he has. I was like, that's
Mhm.
fucking cool. Like he looks like a bat. Like that's cool. I think the hooks are a cool thing. Like the way he uses them are absolutely insane. And Nick Dragotta actually said that if he wants this to be made in animation, and if he had the option to make it, and Nick Dragotta is the artist for people who don't know, for this, he said if he had the option of choosing who to make it, he would choose a studio that's working on that Cyberpunk 2077 anime.
Studio Trigger.
Yes, and the minute I saw that, I was like, this should have been made yesterday. Like, that would be fucking insane, especially with his art style. Yeah, I would love to see that. And then the second thing with this fucking story, I read a lot of modern books. I read a lot of old books. I read a lot of fucking alternate universe books like the Ultimate Universe and the other absolute stuff. There is no villain scarier than fucking Bane. Like, no matter what, he just
this
is
version
there.
of Bane, especially.
Yeah, he's fucking horrifying. Like, no matter what Bruce would do, he was just there. And without breaking a sweat, was just beating the shit out of him without like within an inch of his life. It's terrifying. Like
Oh
that
my
issue
God, I mean,
about Bane, that Bane issue where it
Uh,
was trippy as fuck. I was horrified.
I was gonna say, I mean, that issue where they had Batman like locked up, and they had like skin grafts, and they were
Yeah,
operating on him, and it's like, oh my God, this is horrifying.
it's
This is
nuts, dude.
horrifying.
Yeah, like there really is no one like the absolute Bane character. It's fucking nuts. And for what they released of Absolute Joker looking like, oh my God, dude. We've seen Absolute Joker's human form in the books, but they released. Have you seen the cover they released for issue 15?
Yes,
Dude,
I have.
what the fuck? I know why he looks like that now because of the Bane serum, but it's like, Jesus Christ. And what's really exciting about this... Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, we don't get to see much of her, but I also really like the absolute design of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, me too.
He has like a punk rock vibe to her.
Yeah, and she runs the Red Hoods, the gang. That was cool.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool. I totally dug her look. Because you know me, in my art style, I draw a lot of people wearing baggy clothes and shit like that with tattoos. So when I saw her with the baggy sweater and all the tats, I was like, that's cool. This is up my alley. I fucking dig this. And what's really exciting that I was going to say is issue 16's cover got released. Have you seen what issue 16's cover is?
No, but I'm going to pull it up right now.
The solicit is Absolute Batman in Hell, and it's him facing off with Absolute Wonder Woman, who, as people know if you read Wonder Woman, is from hell. She is a witch from hell. So, very cool. We are getting our first crossover in the Absolute Universe.
So that's a good segue, Gabe, because I actually just finished reading Volume 1 of Absolute Wonder Woman as of yesterday. As of yesterday. This might be a hot take. I think I like it a little bit more than Absolute Batman.
It is on par for me. I think those are the two best Absolute
fucking
books.
Close.
Those are the two
pretty
best.
damn close. Yeah, it's pretty damn close.
That's why when they released the solicit in the preview book of this cover, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, my two favorites from the Absolute Universe? Are you kidding me? Like, I love Superman, but his book, it's not bad. It's a slow build, which is okay. Because Batman's, like, high action. There's a lot going on. Wonder Woman is, like, a TV show where each issue now is, like, a two-parter or, like, a three-parter, and they're knocking out these quick little stories. which I think is cool too. He gives everybody something different. But Superman's like the long build, you know what I mean? And it's definitely a lot darker. But I would definitely say it's number 3. You know what I mean?
What impressed me the most about Absolute Wonder Woman is that I knew going into Absolute Batman that Scott Snyder was a great writer because I'd read his comics before.
Mm-hmm.
I knew who Kelly Thompson was by her reputation, but I'd never read a Kelly Thompson comic book before.
Yeah, I didn't know your game.
What's that?
I didn't know your game, Kelly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I read Absolute Wonder Woman, and I was like, Kelly Thompson is one of my favorite writers now. Like that's how great I think Absolute Wonder Woman is. I think it's fantastic.
And
Hayden Sherman as an artist, incredible.
Oh my god,
I love this art style.
Great. And I like that she has defined features in this book.
Yeah.
Like she has like the larger nose, you know what I mean? She has the larger eyes. Like she has a certain look to her that when I've seen variant covers of Wonder Woman where they try to draw her and she still kind of looks like regular Wonder Woman, and I'm like, that doesn't look like Absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Wonder Woman, she has a big nose. She has like that very like broad nose. I feel like that's a very key feature to her that people are missing.
She has very pronounced featers.
Yes, and I think that's a feature people keep missing when they're doing the variant covers. They're making her look too much like Diana from the regular universe, and that's when I don't buy those covers. I'm like, that's not. I like that this Diana looks different. She looks different. She feels different. At the core, she's still Diana. You know what I mean? Like a loving, caring person. But everything else about her is very fresh and new. Plus, she has the cool ass fucking giant sword that Cloud has. I was
gonna say it's a Cloud sword. It's exactly that.
And I went to Spirit Halloween and they had the Cloud sword, and I almost bought it. I sent it to Drew and I was like, Absolute Wonder Woman.
Right.
But I found out here that it's actually an Absolute Wonder Woman number 15 coming out in 2 months in December. Actually, on Christmas Eve. That's the first meeting of her and Batman, and then it's going to continue into Absolute Batman.
And then following that is going to be the first appearance of Absolute Zatanna.
Yes, and the recent issue teased her, and I already knew she was coming, and I was stoked. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited for that. But I think if you're going to read anything new for people that want to get into Absolute, Batman and Wonder Woman are the two you need to read for Absolute, and for Ultimate, it's Spider-Man, without a shadow of, and Spider-Man and X-Men. Those are the two. If you need 2 from each, those are the 2 you should get.
Oh my god, man. I can't describe how much I love Absolute Wonder Woman. I mean, I think so highly of it. I love the idea of Circe raising her as a baby and that she grows up in hell.
Yep.
I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but it completely works.
Yeah.
It works so well. Circe develops as a character so much in like the 7 issues that I've read. You know, she went from not wanting a kid at all to, you know, if she lost Diana some way, that a part of her would die, or she would die herself, honestly.
Yep.
I really love this run.
I'm really intrigued now because with these stories going on, they already teased in DCKO that he is bringing in some soldiers to face off against all the heroes. So I'm like really intrigued because the soldiers he's bringing in, they showed their feet, and it's Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman, and Absolute Superman. So I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? Sorry, I said he. I meant Darkseid. Before I just so people know who I'm talking about. Darkseid is bringing in his soldiers to face off against the regular universe. And when I saw that, I was like, what? They're bringing them in? Like, holy shit. And then I'm like, how's that going to work? Because they're not bad guys. So I'm like, what's going to be their reason for joining the tournament? I'm super intrigued by that. Like, if I could see Absolute Batman and Superman go up against each other, that'd be kind of sick.
I would love that. One last thing about Absolute Wonder Woman, and then I'll wrap it up. Have you are you caught up like on Absolute Wonder Woman? Have you read like
completely?
Everything?
I'm completely caught up.
So if you remember in issue, I believe issue 6 and 7, where it wraps up like the first arc.
Yeah.
And then it's not Hayden Sherman
in the water.
It's not Hayden Sherman doing the art. It's Mattia de Lewis, I believe he's called. His artwork is fucking outstanding.
Yeah, it is.
Completely outstanding. My only problem with it is I felt like it didn't really fit what I've seen so far of like the absolute universe. Is like the absolute universe to me, the art style, I don't want it to be too pretty.
Yeah, I like that
I
it
don't
looks
know how
different.
to. I like that it looks a little gritty, a little not super polished.
Yeah,
Um, but this is just me saying like that Mathieu de Lulis is an amazing artist, and um,
he has a
I
different
still
style that's not a we talked about on the show, like if we feel like that a lot of art started turning like generic, like it all kind of looked the same, it doesn't look the same as every other book on the shelf. It's not bad, it's
so,
great, it just looks different than everything else, which is awesome, kind of like Dana Warren
ex-
Johnson.
well, exactly. So like I feel like Nick Dragotta and Hayden Sherman have this style where they really put their stamp on the book,
Yeah,
and you know that it's their book. With Matea, like again, he's a fucking phenomenal artist, fantastic. Like I texted John, I was like, this is some of the best interior artwork I think I've ever read in a comic.
and they do
But
storytelling really well with the panels in the book too.
mhm.
They do some really unique stuff.
And I still love issue 6 and issue 7 because it's a short arc where like Diana has to fight a tiger
Mm-hmm.
like in an arena,
Yep.
and it's really good. But like I said, I just felt like the art style kind of didn't really fit with what I feel like the absolute universe is trying to go for.
Yeah, I will
I felt like
say
it would have fit better for like main continuity
they
DC.
they found so in the recent book there's an artist named Matthias Bergara, one
Okay.
of those is pronounced, I apologize, I said it wrong, but they have him doing the art for issue what was it, issue 13, and his art, it looks like Hayden Sherman's art, but not like Hayden Sherman at the same time. Like you could definitely tell it's supposed to, he's trying to replicate that Hayden Sherman art, but he has like his own little twist on it, but it fits perfectly with what you get from the first like batch of issues that you were talking about, which I think is really
Sure.
fun. They found an
Mhm.
artist that kind of was able to like replicate that style while he's taking a little, obviously artists got to take a break in between for some issues. So I'm glad they found someone that like really filled in that void and did the art in a way where I actually had to look up if it was even a different artist. You know what I mean? It was that good. It kept all the same aesthetic and feel to it. So, yeah, when you get to that, definitely, could you have you got to 13 yet? I think you have. You're caught up, right?
Of Absolute
Wonder
Wonder
Woman?
Woman? No, I've
No,
only
you're
read up
catching up. Okay.
until I've only read up until issue 7, but I will catch up.
Oh, okay.
That's my intention. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
my
yeah, no, they
intention.
do find some artists that do fill the void very well.
What's the last one that I've read? Okay, no, I read issue 2 of Children of the Round Table, which I still really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Still really like that. I read issue 3 of Cheetah and Cheshire, Rob the Justice League. That's so much fun. That I I recommend anyone to read that just because it's fun, it's funny, it's really lighthearted. It's really fun. It feels like an Ocean's 11 type of vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Well, I read recently, besides DCKO,
So I
I
was
was
gonna
reading
say
that.
I read DCKO today. I read
Oh, okay. What'd you
DCKO
think of
today.
DCKO?
Um, a little too much exposition for me, but
Yes.
um, besides that, I think the setup is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I just could have done without the exposition. I
Yes.
think
It was
we
almost like
could
a
have
it was like
cut
a book. It was like a novel. It was more like a visual novel I was watching, or like reading through at
we
first.
could have we could have cut a little bit of it out and
Yeah.
just keep keep the more, I would say, important bits of it, but we could have kept a
I
lot of
think
that building
that,
of it, I guess,
and the
out
thing
of
is
it.
that intro where they're playing the board game that Bruce made where he has like all the perks.
Mhm.
um that was in the back of every DC book for the past like month and a half. So I read that already, so like I just skipped over that when I was reading this. You know what I mean? Cuz I've seen it and
Oh
read
yeah,
it like a million times. Cuz they do like the
because that
preview.
right, of course.
Yeah, so like I was able to just jump over that and get right to like where it picked up after that. But I like the premise of like Superman is trying not to like go overboard, but he's being forced to in order to save the world. And I loved the concept of he sees it in himself that he's doing what his parents couldn't do with Krypton. You know what I mean? Like, this is his chance to save another world that he's home to, which I think is very cool. When Lois was talking to his dad, I think that was a very cool touch on the story that I think made it seem... It added like 10 more layers of intensity to it, where it's like, fuck, it's like Superman needs to win now. You know? Like, I want him to win so badly now. Like, if anyone should do it, it should be him.
On League of Comic Geeks, you, before the comic came out, you could fill up a bracket on who you think was going to win.
Yes.
So I filled mine out.
And he got flipped.
So I was going to say, no spoilers. I'm not going to spoil anything. But my bracket got busted even before the tournament started.
Same here,
because someone who I thought was going to be in the final doesn't even end up making the fucking tournament.
That was such a cool surprise.
Are you kidding me?
That was a cool surprise, though. I was like, oh, fuck, okay, that's cool. Now, for people that aren't up to speed, I'm not going to spoil this book, but something was released at Comic-Con recently. There's some crossovers coming. There's some characters coming to DCKO. I am not completely sure on their purpose in the book, because I saw this as them being brought in as challengers. You know, after with Absolute Batman and all of them, obviously there's going to be challengers set up to try to stop the winner of this tournament, because obviously Darkseid doesn't want this tournament to happen. He's going to try to stop it, right? But then I hear people saying that these are people the heroes are going to train with. Also, like, so I don't know what their purpose is. For people who don't know, announced for DCKO, which I don't know what the fuck she's gonna do, but Annabelle has been announced for DCKO. That's the one I looked at. So the other ones on this list, I'm like, that's fine. But when I saw Annabelle, I'm like, what the fuck is she gonna do? She's a doll. Like, maybe she can do something with, like, Zatanna, maybe? You know, like, throws Zatanna, because Zatanna's fucking magic, and Annabelle's, like, spooky magic. That's the only thing I could think. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Annabelle could fuck with Superman because his weakness is magic. I don't know. This one got excited. Vampirella. I'm down for that. That's cool. Seeing Vampirella in a DC book. Red Sonja. I would say making history. Red Sonja has gone, she's been passed around from fucking Marvel to Dynamite to DC. She's been on every fucking book.
So Red Sonja, man. Red Sonja's like, how come nobody want me? She's so like Will Smith.
I'm happy to see her.
Brother. She's like, how come nobody want me, man?
I'm so happy when I saw her in that picture. I was like, fuck yes, dude. Finally. We were just talking about Red Sonja as one of the Mount Rushmore characters of independent books. So I was very happy to see her on that picture. This one I think made sense because we've seen them in history before, and this person's an actual fighter, Sub-Zero. So if he's pulling people from other universes, I like that he's pulling like the top fighters, and it's cool to bring in Sub-Zero. I think that's a good choice.
I think it makes sense on the context of, like, DC and Mortal Kombat have already had a bunch of crossovers already.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense in that regard.
Exactly. There's one I've never heard of. Samantha Strong from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. That's the bear with the fucking goggles and the knife. I never read the book, but to my understanding, it's like a serial killer teddy bear. All right, okay. I'll take that. And then the big one, the one that I think people were the most excited about, which honestly I was like, well, now that they have a partnership with Dynamite, this was fucking bound to happen. Homelander is going to be in DC. That's cool. I'm cool with that. And now with them still having their Marvel crossovers, I'm like, can we get like a Spider-Man showing up in this? That'd be kind of cool, you know? Can we get someone from Marvel showing up?
They have a partnership with Dynamite?
They do. They've been doing partnered books with Dynamite. They just released Harley Quinn and Elvira for Dynamite. That just came out like 2 weeks ago or something. So they have a partnership going on with them where they're doing crossovers. So that's why they're. That's why Dynamite. Yeah, that's why like Vampirella's in this. That's why Red Sonja's there and Homelander, because they're all Dynamite characters. So that's kind of like their, that's their people for this. I don't know if Annabelle is. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. But is Annabelle like owned by Warner Brothers or something?
That's a good question.
Annabelle comic. Is there an Annabelle comic book? I don't even know. I guess there's like a graphic novel for Annabelle, but I don't know, dude. That was a weird one. That was the only one I was like, why? Like, that's not needed. Oh, it is. Annabelle is owned by Warner Brothers. So that's why Annabelle's in there. Gotta sell the Conjuring movies. Can't forget those.
Fuck, they don't need to be sold. They've already fucking.
They're over. The last movie just happened. They ended.
I was gonna say, has there not been a Conjuring movie where they haven't made a profit at the box office?
Honestly, probably this last one. Honestly, but I just felt like that was such a weird choice. But I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. Everyone else I was happy with. Annabelle was a little confused about, but it wasn't more like I wasn't upset about it. I was just a little confused of like, huh? Maybe they'll make it work. Who knows? Last thing I've been reading though, was Amazing X-Men. If you don't know what that is one of the crossover books for Age of Revelation. This book was really good. I had a really good time with this. I need to get the second or the third book now that's in the series. The next one in the Age of Revelation stuff. But I read this one was very odd to me. This is the one I need to get. I need to get Book of Revelation right here, number 1. But this one confused me here. Unbreakable X-Men. So the cover was cool.
Age of Revelation, that's the big crossover event that Marvel's doing right now?
Yes, that is a big crossover event. It's actually, so people were like, oh, this is just like another Age of Apocalypse. In the number 0 book, they outright say, yeah, because it's the 30-year anniversary. This is kind of like a love letter to Age of Apocalypse. So it's like another dystopian future, but it's made to be like a love letter to Age of Apocalypse. And so far, I'm liking it. I like that. I like it. It's very modernized, which is cool. And it's highlighting characters you don't see in X-Men, which I really fucking like. I hate seeing like the same characters over and over again, just reused and rehashed. So it's cool seeing like Blob in a different light. You know, you don't see him a lot. That being said, this book's about Gambit. All right. And it's by Gail Simone. And I like Gail's books. I think her X-Men books have been good. I know a lot of people are kind of iffy about them. I like them. I think she has a good grasp on the characters, but there's something off about this one. This one, Gambit's trying to like avenge Rogue in this. Because on the cover, as you can see, she is passed away. As you can see from, that's not a spoiler. It's literally on the fucking cover. She's passed away. She has a tombstone. And he's trying to avenge her. But for some reason, he ages like 30 years and 10 years. And it kind of throws off the other books. I'm like, all right, how long is it? Because the other books say it's like 20 or 30 years in the future. But in this one, it says it's like 10. So it's just like confusing. I don't know. This one I wasn't too hot on. This one was kind of mid. Not going to lie. I'm going to stick through because the concept is cool of like a heartbroken Gambit avenging his wife. And as you can see, a cool little touch. He's wearing her gear, as you can see. That's the Rogue outfit, which I think is cool. And the ribbon... Oh, and he's blind all of a sudden? Like, he lost his vision over the years? So he's blind now? And he has the John Wick beard and hair.
It looks like fucking... the blindfold reminds me of Sandra Bullock. What was that movie? Bird Box or something like that?
Yeah, Bird Box, yeah. And I think what the cool touch about that is the ribbon over his eyes, that's Rogue's headband. You know, she wears the green headband?
Oh, yeah, true.
That's what he's wearing over his eyes. So, like, everything about him is, like, for Rogue. But, like I said, the concept is cool, but the story was, like, very loose. Like, I don't know. Like, it didn't feel very fleshed out. But I'm going to stick through it. It's a mini-series, so I'm going to stick through it. Just to see. It's only 3 issues, and they're fucking $4.99. I'm not going to fret about it if it sucks. Because the rest of Age of Revelation I'm really enjoying. And allegedly the Book of Revelation that just came out is really good too. It wasn't in my pull box. I have to wait for the back order to come in. So that's another case of itself. So I think it's a really good story. I think people should check out Age of Revelation when it comes out as a collection, I think. Because it's going to collect what's needed, I think, at the end. So I would say wait for that if you're going to read Age of Revelation. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Oh!
So, before we move on,
yes,
I forgot one thing about what I read. So I read Cheetah and Cheshire issue number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I read it today actually. What I failed to mention, and I just remembered, beyond the fact that I really like this issue, what made me like it even more is that there's a character that shows up in this issue that I don't think has showed up in a DC comic in about 3 or 4 years now. And that's Sideways.
Oh, Sideways! DC's Spider-Man.
Sideways shows up.
Yo!
He shows up at fucking Times Square. He's got his cell phone. He's like, "What's up, chat? What's up, chat? We're here in Times Square.
He's a streamer. He's an IRL streamer.
He's an IRL streamer. He's like, "What's up,
awesome.
chat? We're just here streaming, saving people. Blah 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 blah."
That's awesome.
By the way, the plot device for him being there is that they're trying to figure out a way to get inside the Watchtower.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, well, all these key cards, they must be like biometrically attached to like all the heroes, right?
Yeah.
Superman, Flash, blah, 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 blah. I can't remember who it was, but they're like, yeah, but they must give key cards to like all the other common heroes that go to the Watchtower and aren't like biometrically attached. And they're like, yeah, but who could we? They're like, well, what about this guy? And then they go on the internet and they see like
the Sideways guy.
Sideways with his camera, and he's doing like a peace sign, while he's taking a picture of himself. But, okay. So
This guy's cool.
So Cheshire's daughter and Featherweight go downtown looking for him, and then they find him, and then they devise a plan where like they unleash Clarion the Witch Boy. He has a cat.
Yeah. So
they bring the cat with them, and then they tell the cat to like walk out into the street into like busy traffic. So they kind of like set up a trap for like the cat to like. I mean, it's a superpowered cat. He's not gonna get hit. But,
yeah.
They're just like, okay, walk into traffic so we can like distract this guy, right? And they're like, okay, whatever. And then Sideways looks at it. And he's like, "Whoa, chat. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go save this cat real quick." So he just jumps and boom, boom, boom. Grabs
Chat,
the cat,
should I save this cat? Give me 5 subs and I will.
yeah. And he saves the cat, whatever, and then Featherweight's like, "Oh my god, thank you so much for saving my cat. Blah blah blah. You're so amazing. You're my hero." And then she like gives him like a kiss on the cheek and whatever, and she's like hyping him up. And while she's doing that, Cheshire's daughter like reaches in and grabs his key card and walks off.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And he's like, just another day. Maybe the hero,
Sideways.
right, chat? And that was cool. I really liked that, and I hope that
bring back Sideways.
I was gonna say I hope that leads to. I mean, fuck, I would love to see Greg Rucka write a solo series on Sideways.
That'd be fun.
I would love to see that. Even though he was just used as a plot device.
Yeah, it's cool to see him again. It's good to know that they're acknowledging him.
It was really fun to see him.
Because from that project, all those titles they released, I feel like he was the only one people liked. He was the only one that really stuck.
That
no pun intended, because he did Spider-Man.
That and the Terrifics. The Terrifics came from that line as well.
So I feel like those are the only things that really stuck. So it's kind of sucks that he hasn't had anything. So I'm happy he has something.
Yeah, I read that Sideways run and I liked it.
Yeah, man. Well, I bought something that is of historical value.
Is that right?
As you know, I bought Mouse recently, as you know, for like $1. So I was at the shop over in New Hampshire when I was there for my little pumpkin trip, and I found this because it's been sold out at my Barnes and Nobles here. So I had to go to like a local bookstore there, and they had it. It is the almighty Bone.
Oh my god, I've been eyeing this for a while.
Oh yeah.
Is this the black and white edition?
You're damn skippy it is, pal. This
nice.
is
How much did that run you by?
So, I thought this was going to be a lot more money than it was going to be. I was going to leave it until I looked back at the price, and I said, I'm going to grab it. Usually books like this go for about like $80 usually. You know what I mean?
I was going to say,
size.
Canadian, that would go like $120.
This was only $49.95.
Oh, you got a steal on that.
And I said, I could make that work. I could pay $50. I didn't buy anything else at this fucking pumpkin thing besides some beers and some collectibles at the comic store. I'm going to get fucking Bone. So I finally have Bone, the Eisner winning Bone, in my collection. So very, very excited about that. Don't know when I'm going to get around to reading it, but I have it. And it was funny. I was looking around the store at Justina. My mother was there, and she was holding Bone for me. She was like, "Oh, I can hold it while you walk around." So as I go back to her, she's fucking reading Bone. And she's like, "This is pretty good." And I'm like, "Damn, dude. Even all these decades later, Bone's still reeling in new fans." But yeah, this has shit tons of books in here, dude. It is massive. Like it's kind of too heavy to hold. I need to put this down, but it's heavy as hell.
Bone went triple platinum,
Yep.
Scholastic edition. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people read Bone when we were in school.
So I'm glad to finally have it in my collection, to say I have Bone. My collection has things like Bone and Mouse and Kingdom Come, but then it also has things like
Holy Terror.
Holy Terror. And the Liefeld Captain America. Like my collection is so weird. But I like to have all sides of the spectrum of comic history, I think. So my little library continues to grow at a rate where I think I need more shelves now. Fuck. So this big shelf back here is no longer enough. I need another one. Especially because I've been buying the Vampire the Masquerade novels. So that top shelf is full of my Vampire the Masquerade stuff and like my World of Warcraft stuff. So like my actual novels, because I like to read actual books to people. They kind of take up that top shelf, and the rest is all my graphic novels. So.
Speaking of, as of this recording, what are we today? The 29th? It's been a week since Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 came out.
My dad sent me a picture of an ad he got on TV for the game. He just sent me a picture of the logo, and he goes, "What?" And my dad now has a gaming PC, so I will be buying him Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
It's gotten very mixed reviews, but I am the type of person where, first of all, I do not buy games. I don't buy games day one ever.
Mm-hmm.
The landscape of video games now, you get a busted video game if you buy it day one.
Yeah, that's just how it is now. You gotta expect it.
Completely busted. So I feel like now you have to wait a year, maybe if not 2.
I mean, you get a 20-year-old Vampire the Masquerade, it's still busted. You gotta get fucking mods to make it work. That's what I had to do.
Well, that game is beyond busted in general.
So, but maybe it's very now, fitting.
Like, yes, but I'm just saying, like, now you have to wait a year, if not 2.
Yeah. And by that point, you can get it on a nice deal. You know what I mean? I'm planning on getting Midnight Suns for cheap for my PS5, like the Ultra Deluxe Edition, whatever it is. It's wicked cheap now. So
I can't wait, Gabe, because I put 300 hours into that game, and I would really love to talk to someone. I
forget I have a PS5, and last Christmas I asked nobody for Christmas for a PS5 game. So this year I'm asking for fucking Midnight Suns. I'm asking for the goddamn Soul Reaver remaster that came out. I want the deluxe edition of that because it's only like $40 for the deluxe edition. Comes with all this cool physical media because I love physical media. I actually still want the Soul Reaver comics. Did you know there was a Soul Reaver comic based off the PS1 game?
Yes, but I believe they're making new ones. Like, there's a Kickstarter where they're making new ones.
But I want the original, which sadly is kind of a pricey book. But I fucking want it because I love Soul Reaver. I have such a connection with the Soul Reaver games because that's something like me and my dad would play together. And of course, it's done by Top Cow, of course. So
I feel like Top Cow did a lot of the video game adaptations.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes sense because it's done by Eidos Interactive, which does Tomb Raider. So it makes sense if they signed a deal with them. Because Tomb Raider was a home run, so why not give you our other property, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, they are working on more stuff for Soul Reaver. I think it's called The Dead Shall Rise they're working on. So yeah, we'll see. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. So
sounds cool.
I also bought the game Dispatch, the new comic book game that everyone's been fucking playing. I still have yet to play it. But I like how they're releasing it. They're releasing the game. It's kind of like those games, what the hell were they? Like the Walking Dead ones where it was episodes? Where you can choose your own decisions? But they're releasing it every week. There's a new episode. So it released, I think, the first 2, and then episode 3 just came out. So I'm going to try to jump in that ASAP because everyone's been talking about it, how great the game is, and has been just spoiling stuff, so I've been avoiding all spoilers for the game. For what's happened the first 3 episodes. So
that's fair.
It's cool seeing a comic book game be so popular, though. I love seeing shit like that.
It is really cool.
Comics are back,
me hope.
baby. And
It really are. There's so much good stuff coming out right now for comic books that it's really overwhelming to keep up with it, but I like it that way. I
And
really
even
do.
though there's so much comic books out there, there are some books that like slip through the cracks. There's some books, whether they're old or new, that you read and later on and you realize, oh, this was really good. How didn't I know? And that's how we're gonna transition into some hidden gems. Jocelyn, you like that little transition? That was
Oh,
perfect.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, dude, that shit hit like crack. So, for what I was looking at my collection of things. This is what I did personally for me. Like, I was looking at things that I read that I liked, that I was like, I feel like more people should read, that I would see personally as a hidden gem. So, two of them on this list I've already talked about on the show, so I won't go into detail because we've already gone into detail about it multiple times. Obviously, Fighting American is one that I feel like is a hidden gem. I think especially, oh god, I shit my mic. The second volume where you got Ed McGuinness on there. I think that's the one. You know what I mean? You got Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness working their magic on it. I think that's a hidden gem, especially for those two guys, because people love their Superman, they love their Hulk, but no one talks about the Fighting American stuff. And we will be reviewing those issues. There's only 3 issues for it. We will be, or is there 3 or 2? One of those. Either way, we're going to be reviewing them in one shot happening next year. We already have it planned, so we will be talking about that book in the future. But definitely, I feel like personally that is one that I feel like is a hidden gem that is sadly just lost to time. Like, no one really cares about Fighting American anymore, so they don't bother to look into the Awesome Comics run with Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness, which is a dream team, honestly.
But I do, Rob. If you want to reprint it, I'll buy it.
Rob, please. I will happily take that. I will happily take that. And then the other one that I've talked about on the last episode in length was Freedom Force, the one based off the video game of the same title. I think that game was a lot of fun from what I've played of it so far, and the comic was a great tie-in, because like I mentioned last month, it's just the cutscenes in comic form, and the cutscenes are already comic book panels, so it's cool hearing the dialogue from the comic in the game. So, again, it's something that's not collected, shockingly. It's by Image Comics, too. It's not collected anywhere, and it's kind of tough to come by. I paid a good penny for some of these issues, because they weren't printed, a lot of them, shockingly. Even though the game was pretty popular, the comic itself didn't really sell a lot, weirdly enough. So
you can still buy the game on Steam, by the way.
Yes, you can. Steam, GOG has it. That's where I got it from. I did find the Steam version's a little broken, though. It doesn't run the game. Like, it just won't run the game. It'll crash on you. So
yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I have the GOG version, or GOG, however you call it. I have that one, and then the sequel, the Third Reich one, I have where they fight Nazis. I have that one, too.
I'm glad you brought that up, because when it comes to old PC games, if you have a choice, GOG is always a choice, because
Absolutely.
GOG makes sure that their ports work out of the box.
So I actually have the first Vampire the Masquerade on GOG. So
yeah,
that's where I have that from, and Saints Row. So I have some goodies on there.
Oh, interesting.
And they have a ton of deals. They got a lot of deals, more than Steam. So definitely use that. I think that's a hidden gem in itself.
GOG. Well, yeah,
that's a hidden gem.
There's an autumn sale going on right now for GOG, like as we speak.
Yep. I actually have the Arkham series. Oh no, I have that through Epic. Never mind. Another one that I haven't talked about in this episode, and is actually the thumbnail for this episode, is a comic by another Image comic here. There's actually a lot of Image on here. Written by Pam and Art T-Bear, and doing the art for the cover, also Art T-Bear doing the art, called Black and White. And it is the most 90s book you could ever read. It's got the guns, it's got the shoulder pads, it's got the hot lady, it's got evil corporations, it's got the rich man with the butler, it's got everything you want out of a 90s comic, but it's actually written well. Even though it's a lot of stuff you see, and when you talk about 90s comics, it's written really well. And I read these 3 issues actually while waiting for Justine to get out of her dance class, and I was just in the car reading these and got through them pretty quickly. It's a fun story. It's a very quick read to get through, but it's actually a very fun story. He's actually more of like a Batman type character. Even though he has the giant guns, he has a no-kill rule. and his
Mm.
guns are like the rubber bullets. Meanwhile, she is like a cold hard killer, and he's trying to get her to not kill. You know what I mean? Because he got her from like a stasis where she was like unconscious. So she's like very vicious and brutal. That's why I think it's a very cool title, Black and White. You know, they're opposites, which I think is cool. Plus, they're very much like yin and yang in all the covers of the contrast of their gear and all that. So I would say check this out. I would actually say check this out. It is peak 90s comics, and it's before all the... Honestly, a lot of the stuff done in this was done later on. This book's from 94, and it felt like a lot of the stuff they were doing I knew from like books from 96 or 97. So it's kind of, if you really think about it, it's kind of ahead of the time from when it was doing it for a lot of the stuff. But definitely check it out. I would say give it a shot. It's 3 issues. You can decide if you like it or not. But definitely check it out. I think it's a fun little read for people that haven't.
I'm intrigued
read
by
these.
it just for the novelty.
Yes, exactly. That's why I bought it. So I bought it because it was a cool ad in Wizard magazine. They had a really cool art piece for it. And I was like, man, these characters look badass. You know what I mean? But he's like fighting like this like Asian corporation that's trying to kill people. And you find out she's like kind of related to it, and now she wants to fight back against it. And it's just so like peak 90s, you know what I mean? I love it. I think it's great. Explosions, tits and ass, it's got everything. But like I said, it's not the what we've learned from these Image books, from reading a lot of the number ones, is that the writing wasn't there. Cool concepts, cool looks, but the writing sometimes wasn't perfect or great. This one, again, not like, oh my god, it's Watchmen, but it's also not bad. You don't feel like you wasted your time reading the series. And like I said, I read it, there were some funny jokes in it, and I read it with a smile on my face. It was a decent time. I had fun reading it. Was there any hidden gems that you were thinking about?
It's oh man, it's hard because I'm like I feel like I only want to go with the ones that I've read, but
That's perfectly okay.
I probably could mention some that like that are on my bucket list to read.
Yes.
I could probably do a little bit of both.
Yeah, for sure.
As far as like hidden gems that I've read, I would probably the first one that I would probably go with is Huck, which I've talked about before.
Yes.
That's kind of like Mark Millar's his Superman analog. His Superman analog where he does like through Image.
Yeah.
Which as we're recording this, he's actually doing a second series of Huck, which I was very surprised by because I thought the series of Huck was pretty one and done. I thought, okay, well, once he wraps up this issue, like this is it. But
yeah,
now 10 years later, he's doing another run, which is pretty cool.
That's fucking cool.
That's a run that I really like. I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's Millar's best story because he's not trying to be edgy.
Yeah.
He's just trying to tell like a good comic book story. So I like that a lot. Not that I think he can't tell a good quote unquote edgy story. Sometimes though he can just go off the beaten path. Sometimes we get stuff like Nemesis, which is completely unreadable. It's like, oh hey, I inseminated you with your brother's semen. What?
Like, what?
Okay, Mark.
Okay. I
You,
guess.
What the fuck ever. How could I not bring this up? How could I not mention the Pro?
Yes,
I love the Pro.
That was on my list too.
This is an amazing hidden gem. One of the funniest comic books I've ever read. It's about a hooker who gets superpowers.
It's such a unique concept.
It's fucking
but
ridiculous.
It's also not done in like a distasteful way. You know what I mean? Like it's not disrespectful.
Surprisingly.
It's done actually pretty well. And it's very like especially like there's that one panel where all the chicks have the different sized things to shove up that dude's ass that was like abusing all the other hookers. So there's a lot of like female power in it too for people that are in that want a book like that. That's in that book too. You know what I mean? So it's funny. There's some great comedy moments in that with the plane.
That's the best one. That's the best one.
Oh man, what a great book! I'm glad to have that signed.
That's an amazing sign.
Mm-hmm. Very, very proud of that.
I don't know if I can consider it. I mean, I feel like it's a hidden gem for today's time, but it
Yes.
wasn't a hidden gem when it came out, and that would be Danger Girl. I
Yes.
absolutely love Danger Girl. I've talked ad nauseum about. This is one of my favorite comics of all time. The original Danger Girl run is amazing. It's so much fun. The artwork is amazing. The writing is really tight. There's never a dull moment in Danger Girl. They don't drag
Mm-hmm.
anything on for too long, but yet at the same time, they're able to build really intriguing characters
Yes. And
while
the
maintaining a breakneck speed.
and the aesthetic for it too, of like that. It's heavily inspired by like 80s James Bond stuff. So like every time you start an issue, it's like last time on Danger Girl, and it gives you like a recap of what happened. I love that. That was such a cool
Yeah,
gimmick
I
in the book.
absolutely love that.
That was such a cool gimmick. Um,
I I absolutely love that. And for my oh no, actually hold on. I'll mention one more that I've read that I think is a hidden
okay.
gem. I would go with Unknown Soldier, specifically the Unknown Soldier that Garth Ennis wrote, because that's
Okay.
the one that I've read. I really loved that Garth Ennis run. I would go on to say that this is the most overlooked work that Garth Ennis has ever done.
Really?
Nobody ever talks about his Unknown Soldier run, and I don't know why, because it's really fucking good. And
Yeah.
it's really just like a basic espionage story.
Really?
It's nothing really, really fancy or really that's like over the top. It's not even really like all that violent either. Like I said, it's just like a espionage story, but
Yeah.
it's done so well.
Damn. I've
And I,
never even heard of that.
and I would really like for people to read it because I love Garth Ennis, and it's probably like his most uh, how would I describe it? His most like well-known work that hasn't been read.
Really?
I've never really met anyone that's read like his Unknown Soldier run, and I think it should be read. As far as stuff that I think is hidden gems and like I haven't read, I would really like to read Too Much Coffee Man by Shannon Wheeler.
you
I
told
would
me about that.
I would really
I
love
only
to
know
read
about that book because of you.
I would really like to read it because it just seems like a really funny comic book. Um, kind of like in the style, in the vein of like daily newspapers.
Yeah.
Kind of like in that same like comedic style to it, and I would really like to read it. It seems fun.
I am a big fan of books like that, and I think someone that does that well. Oh man, who honestly does the best ones of that? There is one that I read called One Page Filler Man by Jim Mahfood. And what
Okay.
it was for like anthology books. People would ask him, "Hey, just can you make like a one-page like story?" So he made a character called One Page Filler Man, and he did so many anthology books that he actually made a collected graphic novel of all of his one-page Filler Man books, all in one thing. And what it is, it's just like it's just 1-2 pages of just him doing fun heroic stuff. But it's like a comic strip, it's all comedy and all that. I think it's in that same vein. And honestly, the names are kind of similar too, which I find funny. But I actually did have a Jim Mahfood book on my list. I had Girl Scouts on my list. I think that's a book that's a hidden gem. It's actually the biggest inspiration for any of my comics that I do now and my art style and all that. So I think if you want to read anything of Jim Mahfood's and you don't know what to choose, if it's not going to be any of his X-Men stuff, it needs to be Girl Scouts. It's just a fun story of 3 chicks that sell and love doing smoking weed, and they live like in a really rough neighborhood, but they all have like guns, and they're very known in the community of being like heroes, even though they're drug dealers. But the chick in the middle, the Hispanic chick in the middle with the arm tattoo, she's a big comic fan, so she's always talking about comic books and going to the comic book shop, and all that. While the other ones are always just talking about smoking weed and all that. So I think it's a fun story. It's very like over the top, which I love. But it's definitely a hidden gem. I would say definitely check out that. And another one I would say to check out is actually a book by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. Who I think is an underrated duo. I think people need to put some respect on their name a lot more than what they
That's one of
do.
my favorite duos. I love that duo. Anytime I see that duo in a book, I'm like, yeah, I have to read that.
And this is one that's fun. It is just a 4-issue mini. It's all compacted in one 4-issue story. There's no like tie-ins or things like that, and it is called Terra. And I know you're thinking, oh, Terra from the Titans? They touch on that in this. This is an alien woman named Atlee who has the powers to control the Earth because she's from this alien life form from underground. So she adopts the name Terra, which is obviously from Titans, who at this time in 2008, Terra is dead. So it's okay for her to take up the mantle. You know what I mean? And if you really want to know the time frame of when this came out, this was the ad in the back of the book for the brand new movie coming out, Twilight, later that year.
Oh, man.
Yep. But of course, you get some amazing Amanda Conner, Jimmy Palmiotti art. They do the covers and the interiors. It ties in at this time. They were working on their Power Girl series, so she shows up in this book, and she's a very big part of the book, honestly. So it's cool to see her in it. But definitely check it out. It's like peak Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti writing and art. It's a lot of fucking fun. And I think this character needs to come back because they left the door very open for DC to do whatever they want with the character, and they just never have touched Atlee ever since. So it's very upsetting they haven't, and I wish they fucking would because this book series is really good. And her character's very likable. They made a very likable character. Even though she's an alien from underground, they made her very relatable, which I think is very unique that you're able to do that with such a obscure character that was made up for this in a whole new original character. Which you don't see a lot, you know, an original character getting a miniseries, so I think it's very cool. And honestly, I only had like 2 more, and one of them, another one from Image, of course. Gotta love Image. And it's this one called Sidekick. This is a book where if you're a fan of gritty, dark, depressing, serious things like The Boys and that type of superhero story, this is what is made for you. And it's by J. Michael Straczynski. So that's a plus.
JMS, yeah.
Yes. And it's really, really good. Just the quick premise without spoiling, it is about a sidekick who is forced into the spotlight because his hero dies. And because of that, he's not ready to be a hero. So he falls on hard times. As you can see, he's drinking whiskey. It's a rough time for him. He's fallen in with bad crowds. He's struggling to be a name. No one takes him seriously as a hero because they just have always known him as a sidekick. So he gets like very bitter and angry because everyone just sees him as something that's less than. It's a very good fucking story. It's not collected anywhere. It's 12 issues. This is when I saw at my local shop that was selling it for $2 a pop. I just bought all 12 in one go. And especially because I Googled it to make sure there wasn't a trade paperback, and there's not. So this is like the way you can get it. And I think it's a really well done story. So definitely check out Sidekick for the fans of The Boys. It's The Boys, and I've read the first 2 volumes of The Boys, and this is head and shoulders above that. And it's in that same vein, though, of that realistic, dark, gritty superhero time, which was all the rage in 2013. So definitely go check it out. But if you don't want gritty and dark and depressing superhero stuff, then check out something that is actually based off of a video game, kind of like Freedom Force. And it is City of Heroes, the comic book series. For people who don't know, City of Heroes was a majorly popular, I would say, on the same not on the same level, but right below World of Warcraft popularity. It was World of Warcraft for superheroes, and it's still going to this day. You can still play City of Heroes online, officially, with official servers. I actually own many things for City of Heroes. My massive love for City of Heroes. I own not only the physical game, that obviously doesn't run anymore because you can't play these physical games anymore, you know? I have the villain expansion physical media. I have... They called it a bootleg edition that they sold at cons to get people excited for the game. They would sell this at conventions, at San Diego Comic-Con, for people testing the game, and it's still sealed. So whoever had this never opened it. So I own that. But I also own not only the HeroClix, I own this weird collector's DVD edition that's all chrome. So needless to say, I have hundreds upon maybe thousands of hours in City of Heroes, for people who don't know. And they had a comic book series that really piqued my interest. So, funny enough, you can read the entire City of Heroes comic book run online. There is an archive of it that is obviously it's a legal archive of City of Heroes that you can read whenever you like, which I think is very cool. These books were sold out to people that were subscribers of City of Heroes, because obviously it's an MMO, so there's monthly subscribers. This was sent out to them a part of their subscription. And then soon after, it turned into like a $1.99 add-on you can get with your subscription. You would get this mailed to your house for the physical books. But this archive has taken the time to archive every single issue through Blue King Comics. And funny enough, because it's like a PDF, you can actually like highlight the words. How cool is that?
That is actually really cool, yeah.
If you are like vision impaired, you can have it read to you what's on this, which is very, very cool. Down to even like who it's written by, you can highlight all that and have it read to you, which I think is very cool. But there was a promotion book for the game that was sold by Dark Horse Comics. I've only read the Blue King comics, and I think they're very well done. It really captures the essence of City of Heroes. It follows the characters from the video games that you can actually go into the game and find on the map, which I think is very cool. So these same exact characters you're reading about, you can go and communicate with them, their NPCs, on the map. But there is a Dark Horse mini comic that was used for promotion that is sold. But if you don't want to get your hands on those, Jocelyn, if you're like, I'm not a fan of Dark Horse, even though this looks beautiful. I never heard of Bloom King comics, so you're iffy about it, but, don't be, because this is really well done. Good old fucking Top Cow made City of Heroes comics as well. They got the rights after Blue King Comics. They followed the major stars of the comic books in this here. So if you are looking for a City of Heroes book following the major characters that you are communicating with and reading about in the novels, pick up the Top Cow ones. The King comic ones the Blue King ones are more side characters they're putting a spotlight on, but this is highlighting, this is like if they were making a Captain America book, you know what I mean? This is highlighting the major characters by Top Cow, and these I want to get my fucking hands on. I've only read these digitally. I need my hand. I actually have the trade paperback of this one. I have the Top Cow trade paperback. I don't have the Blue King physical ones, so I'm trying to get my hands on those. But I would say this in general is just a hidden gem, especially if you're a fan of City of Heroes, a video game about comic books. There's comic books about the video game about comic books. That was a mouthful of what I just described.
It was, but I'm intrigued, actually. I might have to seek these out.
Yeah, dude, look at they got fucking superhero strippers. Thank you, Top Cow.
Top Cow is so awesome, man.
I love Top Cow. They got butt cheeks in this. This is great. But it's cool seeing, in reading with these, I'm so excited to jump into these. And what I like, too, I just haven't jumped in yet. I have the trade paperback, but you don't have to read, I know for a fact you don't have to read the Blue King comics to understand the Top Cow ones. So if you want to just read Top Cow, if that's just your thing, you can read just that. If you want to just read Blue King comics run of it, you can read just that. Because at the end of the day, I don't think any of these comics are canon, though, to the video game. So if you're like a diehard of the video game, these comics mean nothing to the game. They're directly related and use things from it, but they're not canon. So they're not like tie-ins, which I guess is also good because if you don't play the game, you want to be able to understand the comic. So they made it so you can do that. You can understand the comic without having to play the game. And like I said, you can legally read these online in their archive.
That's yes. That's
there you go. Canadian. And what was cool about City of Heroes, a hidden gem about City of Heroes itself was this. It was called City of Heroes fan comics. And what people would do is they would take, I could just probably show the one from this site, even though it's not what I want to show from it, but they would take screenshots from the game and create comic books from the video game. And this was a ginormous fucking community, dude. There was so many fan comics for City of Heroes. It is insane, bro. It is nuts. There is a giant archive.
The amount of effort to do that is crazy.
Dude, there are so many fan comics for City of Heroes. It's nuts. I have a lot of them saved in my drive for me personally, but there are so fucking many City of Heroes comics. It's nuts. Done by fans. And it's cool because it's all their lore, of their characters. I have a bunch indexed here, like Task Force UK, and it's just like their comic book, you know? Like, how cool is that?
It's really cool.
Like I said, City of Heroes in and itself is a hidden gem. So I think that was the last one I had on my list. I thought that was a good one for my list to cap off with, was the insane hidden lore for City of Heroes. I just babbled on for a half an hour about this game that I love.
That's what the podcast is for, brother.
Hey, man, listen. If it brings more eyes to City of Heroes, I love it. Knowing me, I'll probably end up playing City of Heroes after we record this. You know what time it is? It is time
for Wizard.
For this month in Wizard. That's the music and pyro going off. And this one you're going to like. You're really going to like this one. It's a casting call. Ooh. We love our casting calls. But
does it have a couch?
It does not. Sorry to break your heart. It does not. But what this does have, it is Wizard number 108 from October of 2000. Oh, sorry. Wizard number 109. My apologies. Of October of 2000. We actually reviewed Wizard number 108 last month, and now we're in 109 this month. I just noticed that.
Exactly 25 years ago.
Yes. And they are casting for a dream movie that I don't know if people know if this will ever happen. A little movie for a character called The Punisher. So this is obviously before the Thomas Jane Punisher. They were casting for what would be the Punisher movie. But interesting enough, this was cast by a legendary Punisher writer, Garth Ennis. So Garth Ennis is casting this Punisher movie that we are about to look at.
That's interesting. So he would have been casting this in the middle of his Marvel Knights Punisher run.
Absolutely. And actually, on the top 10 comics for this month, Punisher number 1 was the top book that they had on the list.
Wow.
So,
that's pretty cool.
Who he would cast as the Punisher would be Rutger Hauer as the Punisher.
Okay.
Which I was like, that's an interesting casting for the Punisher.
I don't hate it.
I don't either. I don't either. You know, obviously famous from fucking Blade Runner, of course. I didn't know he was in Batman Begins, so he's been in a comic book movie.
I did not know that either. Who was in Batman Begins?
William Earl. Who the hell is William Earl? Oh, he looks like one of the people in the courtroom.
Okay.
For
okay.
Not in the last movie, but the first one. I forgot why they were in a courtroom.
Yes.
I gotta rewatch Batman Begins. But yeah, he was a lawyer in that.
Okay.
So yeah, he's known for that. Next here, I think it's this way. Page 2. He has Ralph Fiennes in this movie as Elite. Now, I haven't read Garth Ennis' Punisher. Is Elite from his run?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Elite is an interesting character, okay? So Elite is a rich guy who becomes a vigilante. Elite is kind of like a joke character.
A rich guy becomes a vigilante. That's almost like you just described Nemesis.
He's a rich guy who becomes a vigilante, but not kind of like in the same regard as Batman. He becomes a vigilante because he wants to kill poor people.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's basically like his deal.
He also has Tobey Maguire cast in this as the Holy.
The Holy. So again, he is a priest who becomes a kind of like a vigilante, but he's really fucking deranged. He's not like a morally good vigilante. He's just like really out of his mind.
Yeah, he's a psycho.
Yeah.
Well, next he has Sigourney Weaver as Ma Nucci.
This is an amazing casting.
Obviously, Sigourney Weaver from Alien, of course.
Sigourney Weaver, a great actress.
Yes.
Fuck, how old would she have been in 2000? I don't know if she would have been that old to play Ma Nucci, though.
Let's see. I think maybe nowadays, if they were to put her in the new Punisher show as Ma Nucci.
Yes, absolutely. But I think in 2000, she must have been like in her late 40s.
Oh, dude, she's almost 80 years old right now. She's 76 right now. She was born in 1949. So she would have been in 2000? What's that?
So she would have been 50.
She would have been 50. So she would have been, that's about grandma age. Just
Okay,
about.
it could
So yeah,
it could have worked.
she
Okay, it
probably
could have
just looked
worked.
a lot younger for her age at the time.
Yeah, it could have worked.
Next on the list, as he has a Nelson DeCastro as Mr. Payback.
Mr. Payback again, another deranged vigilante.
Wait.
The common denominator. I'll explain. The common denominator with all of these vigilantes is that they actually get inspired by the Punisher to become vigilantes by themselves. The problem is that they're all idiots.
Well,
they're all fucking idiots.
What's funny about this? Nelson DeCastro isn't even an actor. Nelson DeCastro is a comic book artist.
I didn't know that. Okay, I was like, I'm not familiar with Nelson DeCastro.
Yeah, he is a comic artist. A very famous one, too. He does a lot. Not only does he work for Marvel, he does stuff for Magic the Gathering as well. So he makes a good chunk of change for what he does.
That's a big compliment to Mr. DeCastro. That Garth Ennis would cast him in his movie.
Next here, he had... Gillian Anderson as Molly
Gillian
Von
Anderson from X-Files. I love this. Molly is a detective that works with Detective Soap over here. She is the opposite of Detective Soap, whereas Detective Soap is like pathetic. He's afraid of everything. If you asked him to shoot a gun, he'd rather piss his pants than pull the trigger. Molly is like the cool badass, like get out of my way, I'll shoot all of them. She's like really sexy. She does everything. But she also happens to be lesbian, which for some reason is like a running gag in the comic because she's like a really sexy lesbian cop. And every time that Soap hits on her, she's like, by the way, like, I'm not attracted to you. Never mind the fact that you're fucking ugly. Like, I'm a lesbian. Like, leave me alone. So no, Molly's a fun character. I like Molly in the comic.
Well, this was funny.
Gillian would be a great pick.
So Steve Dillon as Detective Soap. So I had to Google who Steve Dillon was, right?
He's the artist.
He's the artist. I was like, am I?
Yes.
I was like, yo, this is Steve Dillon from Preacher, Hellblazer, Punisher. He works on all of this with fucking Garth Ennis, which is great. He works on all the great Garth Ennis stuff. So it's cool here. He even says, Steve says he based Detective Soap on himself when he did the art for him, which is pretty interesting.
Detective Soap is the punching bag of this run. Like I said, he is absolutely pathetic. He's completely incompetent at his job. Anytime he has to stop someone, he just gets ran over, punched in the face, fucking, like I said, would rather piss his pants than pull the trigger of his pistol. Like, he's completely useless as a cop. But I love him. He's hilarious. He's hilarious.
This guy, the next one I know because I previously or recently, I can't talk today, recently watched Black Phone, that horror movie.
Okay, yeah.
And Jeremy Davies is in that movie. So I don't know much about Bud Plug, but Jeremy Davies is a great actor.
Okay, so spoiler alert, if you've never read Marvel Knights Punisher, well, I mean, I'm going to spoil this for Gabe, but if anyone doesn't want to be spoiled, you can cut this out. In the Marvel Knights run, Bud Plug is also a running gag. He's a running gag character. He works in the same police department that Detective Soap does. They all make fun of the fact that his name is Bud Plug because it rhymes with butt plug. And he can't stand it, so the next day they find him hanging from his fucking office. Because he does not want to be known as a guy whose name rhymes with butt plug anymore.
And you want to know something interesting of this as well? Garth Ennis eventually did get Jeremy Davies in something of a character he is synonymous with. Jeremy Davies was actually in the Constantine TV show recently. Recently, but it was from fucking, 2017 or some shit like that.
Okay, I didn't know
Jeremy
that.
Davies was in Constantine, so Garth Ennis eventually was able to have him in something. Which I know Garth had no power in that, but Jeremy Davies was in something that he had a hand in. Next, Spacker Dave, he wanted Leonardo DiCaprio to play him.
Which is so hilarious because it's like, could you imagine going to Leo, even in 2000, right? Like he's a big star. This is 2 years after Titanic. Imagine going to Leonardo DiCaprio and being like, "Hey, do you want to play a bit part?" He's like, "What? Do you want me as like a background character?"
Well, I haven't read Garth Ennis' Punisher run. I
So
like Ben Foster in playing him. I thought Ben Foster
in the Thomas Jane movie.
I thought
he did well in that.
I thought from what I've seen of the character in that, I thought that was a really good performance. So don't know if it was accurate, but it was a good performance.
Kind of. You don't really get a lot of Spacker Dave's personality like in the movie. In the comic book, he's a really lighthearted, goofy, kind of an idiot, but you kind of like him for it.
Yeah,
because he's like really harmless,
a lovable idiot.
He's really harmless, and every time that someone calls him Dave, he's like, no, actually, it's Spacker Dave. It's not just Dave. It's Spacker Dave.
Gotta get it right.
yes, to remind people.
Nothing
will
beat the brutalness of getting his piercings ripped out.
Which that is directly from the comic. So
really?
They took that directly from the comic, yes. And in the comic, it's probably worse.
Oh,
to be honest, yeah. It's probably worse. I mean, Leo physically, yeah. I mean, he could play the part physically, but that's a pipe dream.
And the last one here, he wanted Jane Addams as Joan the Mouse.
So yeah, she lives in the same apartment complex that Punisher and Spectre Dave do. She's really, as the name implies, she's really quiet. She doesn't speak very loud. But she's probably like the nicest character in the comic, the most morally good, I guess, character in the comic,
which they captured in the Thomas Jane one.
Yeah, played by Rebecca Romaine, of course. In the comic, yeah, she's really harmless. She's really wholesome. Even Frank is like, okay, well, I mean, I don't like people, but I have to protect her. I have to put her out of harm's way. To the point where, like, in the comic, again, spoiler alert, if you want to cut this out, or if anyone wants to
skip forward,
zoom past it, yeah. In the comic, Frank, I don't remember exactly like what happened. It's been a while since I've read the run, but Frank gets a bunch of money. I think he comes across like a bunch of like dirty mob money, and he gives it to her, and she's like, "What do you want me to do with this?" And he's like, "Buy a nice house somewhere in the country. Get the fuck away from here. Buy a house in the country. You've always wanted a house by the lake with ducks in it. Do it. Just get out of here. I don't want you anywhere near here. I don't want to see you again. And it's not because I don't like you. It's because I want you to get the fuck out of here.
I need you to get lost."
And then, nicely enough, it circles back to like later in the run where like Frank actually does meet up with her like at her brand new house.
Oh, there we go. Look at a happy story.
Because she gets attacked and Frank has to save her.
Ah, God damn it.
I mean, it wouldn't be a Punisher comic without that.
Well, that was the Garth Ennis casted Punisher movie.
I would have watched it.
Yeah.
I would have watched it.
Absolutely. Well, I did have a little extra thing here that I thought would be funny to look at. So, at the end of this issue of Wizard Magazine, they did an interview. And it was just a comical interview to me. They interviewed Jason Mewes. So this is how his interview went. So they asked Jay, look at this picture of Jason Mewes too. They asked him, when you play Jay in Kevin Smith's movies, things get pretty crazy. What would you have been like in the original what would you have been like in the original Star Wars trilogy? He says, "Man, I'd make up my own character. I'd be like Luke's sidekick, but I'd have more of the Force. I'd be teaching him shit like a younger Obi-Wan. There'd be some shit going down." And they said, "So who's your favorite actress in Hollywood?" Or sorry, yeah, actress in Hollywood. He says, "Jim Carrey." And then they go, "Who's your favorite female actress?" For acting, I don't know. For looks, Angelina Jolie. And to which Wizard says, she's a hottie. And he says,
that's actually not where I thought he was going with that.
And he says, hell yeah, she's sexy. I'd stick with her. And then Wizard Magazine says, I'd stick on her. And he goes, whoa.
What is going on in this interview?
Then they ask him, okay. What about superpowers? Which ones do you want to have? And he says, I'd be the same as Superman. Super strength, super speed, be able to fly, X-ray vision, just about his powers. Maybe Green Lantern. His ring's pretty fat. He can make up anything he thinks of. That's cool shit. And they use a beautiful Ed McGuinness Superman. And they said, you like to curse. What's your favorite bad word? He says, I don't know. I like them all, man. To which they say, how many do you use a day? And he says, I probably use about 30 a day. That's such a random number to pull out. And then they say, what's pissed you off the most? Like the worst thing that ever happened to you? And he says, I was thrown in jail for a stolen car I didn't even know was stolen. I was in jail for 5 days. That sucked. And they go, I bet. But how much do you smoke a day? And he says, like weed? And they go, I ain't talking about cigarettes. To which Jay responds, I don't smoke anymore. I'm on probation. And they said, come on. Are you high right now? And he says, no. After a pause. So they say, tell me the story about Kevin Smith that no one else knows. He goes, I don't think he'd like that. And they go, come on, give me something. And he goes, nah, he'd get pissed. And that was the whole interview.
What was the point of this interview?
I don't know. But I had to share because it was so fucking stupid. I love it.
Hell?
That's what Wizard Magazine was all about. Shit like that. Oh my god. That shit's fat. That's so dated that it's calling stuff fat. I'm gonna make this my Discord profile picture too. Of him using the that's
Hello.
And I look through so many Wizard magazines, I know that's the fucking Wizard offices behind him. They use that for photo ops all the time.
A little Resident Jason Mewes.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, that was this month in Wizard. What a month for October. A lot more laughs than spooks. But we're going to be getting down to the nitty gritty and our one shot because we're going to be looking at all spooks galore as we review The Darkness #1. So look out for that, and we'll see you guys on the one shot. Take care.